y'all know I told y'all I was going to be talking to a trichologist, and I finally found one. That's where I've been. It's been a minute, and I found a good one. We are going to be talking to Dr. Brace, and she's gonna give us all this good information. It was so good when I was taking it. I had to be like, hold on, I had to take notes. I had to get my pad out. Like, wait a minute, what did she just say? I mean, her journey started because she was losing hair herself. As you're listening, I'm sure she's gonna say something in her answers that might trigger something for you. So I just get ready. I had to cut this video in 2 parts. So the first part, she's talking about how our hair grows and how we can maintain it, and some things we need to consider. Okay, because I don't want to say nothing about COVID, because I don't want the government, but I would just say that there is vaccines, and she talks about one because a lot of military personnel, a lot of doctors, healthcare people, public health teachers, you get vaccinated quite a bit, maybe once a year, and that could be causing your hair loss. And she's going to talk about that, what's in those vaccines. So I was ready, and I'm glad that you're going to be ready. So yes, and again, thank you, subbies. We up to 35. My friend was like, you need to be telling people to subscribe. I'm sorry, I don't go through that whole spiel and the whole notification button thing because I am consistently inconsistent. Like, I think that's the only reason why you should subscribe, because you just never know when I'm gonna post a video. I just be pressing post whatever day of the week is. I'm gonna get there, but you gotta work with me. Give us some grace. Oh, and before we do that, thank you subscribers, thank you subbies, thank you to my mama, because remember my mama was like, I don't know about these packets, can you do better, because we want to do our own servings. So on the Curly Hair Crisis site, bam, there are what are these now? There are tubs now for the flavors. The lemon flavors in a tub and the ginger flavors in a tub. And I was really excited about that because one of the customers, she sells really pretty jewelry, but she said she has been drinking her fenugreek water and her stylist took her hair down. I was like, oh my gosh, her hair is really growing. I was like, it's thick, it's pretty, and it's colored. And the other lady sent me a message because she's been using the oil, and she said, I ordered some extra oils. I gave one to my son because he has really bad dandruff. And he went to his barber, and his barber was like, bruh, what you doing, bruh? Because your hair, it's looking straight. He was like, no, my mom, she gave me this Curly Hair Crisis fenugreek oil. Hey, you need to shout out loud. It's for men too, okay? It's healing to the scalp. It's a really, really good oil. So thank you for telling me that. It made me feel so good because I just really want to help people. We're working with a small little farm that's sprouting the seeds for us. So it's amazing. And she said her areas in her head that are a little thinner, she said she's been using the oil and she could feel a little fuzz. So I'm very excited about that. So, and y'all know this is October. It is Cancer Awareness Month. And my best girl, Cutie Creations, thank you. She makes these really cute ribbon earrings. She makes ribbon pins. You should go over there and check it out. It's a very sensitive subject, but I know it's pink. I think you can get these if you're ready to go on the walk. The Cancer Walk is on the 25th. This month, so you got time, or if you know someone who has dealt with it and think they would really enjoy some cute little ribbon things, she makes them, put them in a little bag. So I thought they were so cute, so I wore my earrings. I wore my earrings when I spoke to Dr. Brace when I interviewed her. It was really cute, and I gotta send Dr. Brace on too, because she talked about cancer and the effect of it in her family and health and hair. Like, it's a great conversation. I told you, like, I had to split it in 2 parts. It was so good. Part 1 is all about your hair and structuring it and what we need to consider to grow it out and things we need to be thinking about to maintain it. And then part 2 is where all the questions y'all gave me to give her, and she answers that in part 2. So part 2 plays right after part 1, right? I guess. So all that to say, let's get back to this hair. Let's talk to Dr. Brace. Here she go. Woo!
Well, thank you so much. We got a doctor in the building. She studied.
I'm trying, guys. I promise. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, actually, I'm going to tell them what trichology is, but it might be better if you tell my subbies what exactly is trichology.
Okay. So trichology is the scientific and biological study of hair loss and scalp disorders from a medical stand. Most dermatologists will stay surface, the skin. Trichology goes more in depth into it. So it's like a disciplinary study of dermatology.
Oh, I just want to know what made you decide that was something that you wanted to go into and learn and get certified in.
Well, I went to a dermatologist once because my hair was shedding. This was some years ago. And he said, it's your relaxer. And I said, I don't have a relaxer. And that's what really started me to look at it.
Oh, so you were experiencing hair loss.
It was shedding. I was anemic. I dismissed that doctor and went to another one, and they got to the bottom of it.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we're glad you that happened.
Yeah.
Because it turned out you can help so many other women
exactly.
just by doing that. So that's fantastic. We won't get back to this anemia because is that like through diet, or I feel like a lot of women of color may have some iron deficiencies.
Definitely. Okay. Yes, you're right on it. I found out that so many deficiencies would cause the hair loss. So that prompted me to go from trichology to being a nutritional consultant. And so I'm a doctor, but not in trichology because there are no doctors in trichology. I did the highest in trichology, which was a practitioner, but I am a naturopathic doctor.
Wow. And a stylist?
And a stylist, and I took phlebotomy so I can do PRP therapy, which is injecting the scalp stem cells back into the scalp. So I became a phlebotomist for that. And then I took pharmacy tech first because I wanted to know hair and medication. So I've done quite a bit of things to try to just triangulate everything together to see what is really going on.
Oh, my God. That being said, we just want to know, what are we all just not getting right when it comes to taking care of our hair, and we want it to grow fast and want it to be healthy? What are the things that we might need to be considering?
Okay, let's go with the grow fast first.
Yes.
We know that hair grows from blood. It does not grow from product. It grows from blood. So what's in blood? Hydrogen, oxygen, and nutrients. So the better the nutrients you put in, and the hydrogen is the better water intake that you get. The oxygen is the deeper the air you breathe, because as we get older, our lung capacity gets smaller. So we have to do deep breathing. Those are the three main things that are going to grow the hair. Outside of that, out here, what we do is maintenance of the hair that's already grown. So we need to make sure that it's strong by putting the right product up there. We need to make sure that we're not putting too much heat. You can put heat to natural hair if you want to, but you can't put too much where you would damage it. You have to get your ends trimmed. I've never seen so many natural people. And I have to say this, I am 28 years licensed cosmetologist. I've never seen hair in such bad condition as I do right now.
Really?
Because people are trying to do their own thing, which I appreciate that, but you have to know what you're doing. You can't mix oils and think, put this oil and that oil, and then come to find out you use the sealant. And a sealant oil will keep you from getting moisture into the hair. So you have to know what you're mixing. I want people who like to mix oils, take a class, because there's actually a class on what to mix, what's the carrier oil for this oil. You have to know it.
So we could be damaging our hair with lack of knowledge about the products.
Correct. Exactly. I actually had a natural girl come in. She's my regular. So when she came in one day and her hair was so kind of crunchy, dry. And I said, what's on your hair? And she said, nothing. And we were doing color that day. I put 3 colors on her hair and all of them lifted to like 2 levels. And it was like a burnt orange. And that was it. And I said, okay, now you need to tell me what's on your hair. And she said, coconut oil. And I said, coconut oil is a sealant. We use coconut oil to slow down a process if a person's hair is too porous. So it seals and it stops the strength going in too fast. And she said, well, no wonder it doesn't agree with my hair. And I said, it does agree with your hair. It's doing what it's supposed to do. You just didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Yes. Okay. Note to self, and I don't like coconut oil. And now you just let me know why.
Well, I'm glad. And I'm so glad you're honest about that, because so many natural people will say, but coconut oil, if you don't like it, it's okay to say, I don't like that one. Let me try this one. There's a reason you don't like it, and you find out why and go, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like it would sit on my hair, would never go anywhere. My shirt would be dry. I was like, well, what is it's a sealant?
That's exactly what it was doing, sitting on your hair, and it won't. And if you can put some moisturizer on after, it will not go in. And remember, your moisturizers are more your creamy base. Oils are aesthetically pleasing, shiners and slickers. Okay, so moisturizers are creamers. And when you put a good moisturizer on that hair, I get a lot of natural come in. And when I put that moisture on their hair and they go, what'd you put on my hair? That's what it is, because you're lacking the moisture. If you put oil on one leg and cream on the other leg, you'll see the difference.
Oh my goodness. And then you said trim your ends. So a lot of people want to know how often.
The rule of thumb is about 3 months, to trim it every 3 months. Okay, if the hair has a chemical in it, which we know you can have a natural state, meaning my hair is still curly, but I put a permanent color in. If it's a permanent color, it's a chemical. The chemical allows the cuticle layer to split easier because you softened it so much with the chemical. So now you're going to need to trim that every 6 to 8 weeks. That's how relaxed hair is trimmed, every 6 to 8 weeks, because that chemical will allow it to split too easy. I've actually had a natural person with color who didn't want to trim it, and her split end had a split end. Do you understand what I'm saying? So 2 heads, and then she had another one coming out of the side of that one. And she had split ends on split ends. And I have a scope. So I put the scope down to let her see it when I cut the hair off. And I put it down there and I said, you see that? You got split ends of your split ends.
Oh my goodness.
So it keeps splitting. If the hair was down, it would keep splitting up, up, up. And your hair gets shorter, shorter, shorter. So every 3 months is pretty good to trim. And I've actually turned away a color. Someone came in and wanted color. I take pictures and show them. Give me your phone. And I take a picture and I say, look at your hair. We cannot do a color until you get it in good strength, because the color is going to take it out more. And I love taking the picture and showing them, look how much I need to cut off. But doesn't want to devastate anyone. I had a medical doctor come in. She had a heavy metal overload, is what I found out with her hair. And it was broken really bad. And I knew she was hesitant about cutting it, so I never cut it. We just slowly trimmed it. I trimmed it more than every 3 months, every month and a half. I would trim slowly. And then as long as it's not still splitting up, I'm good with that. I gave her protein treatments and we grew her hair out. That hair grew out so much, it took me an hour to shampoo and blow dry.
What?
And yeah, she actually gave me a review and said that Karen knew I was hesitant about cutting my hair. And I don't cut people's hair when they don't want it cut, because you devastate them. You know, it's a slow process. I let your mind get ready for it.
Wait, now you said heavy metal overload. Now I know what protein overload. What is this? Now you're saying new stuff. Wait a minute.
That's really, really deep. Heavy metal overload. So she had, which one of her heavy metals was mercury. She came in with the hair loss, and it's in a particular area, mostly on the occipital bone. She said it happened before. The stylist said it was the way she was wrapping her hair. And I said, no, you have a mercury overload. She said, okay, now I see why it's happened before. She has to take the flu vaccine every year because she's in the medical field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, you just find one that doesn't have mercury in it. Mercury is a preservative. Mm-hmm. And once she did that, she's good to go. She hasn't had any hair breakage since.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Is there anything else that you know that we want healthy hair?
And make sure you get your water, because your water is more important than your nutrients. Water, you need half of your body's weight in ounces in water. Okay. So it's more important, because if you ate a plate of greens, you won't get all the nutrients from the greens if you don't get the water in, because water carries your nutrients into your cellular level. If you don't drink the water, it's not getting into you cellularly, which is like every crack and crevice in the body. Most of American diets are acidic. So if I drink an alkaline water, I kind of balance it out. If I drink an acidic water, I'm not doing too good. If a person, the only time I change the water over is if someone has yeast overgrowth. Then I change it to a distilled water and a lemon water mix. But other than that, I always say, give me some alkaline water for your regular diet. Myself, I take Fiji because I was doing research in trichology school, 50 minerals and herbs and vitamins that for hair growth, and silica was one of them. Well, when I put in silica, Fiji popped up. So Fiji's 93 grams or micrograms of silica naturally. So I just started drinking it. I had no idea it was alkaline at the time, but I'm drinking it. So that's why I drink the Fiji water, because I know that it has silica, and the other waters that are alkaline, I haven't found silica in it, but they are alkaline. She said to me, well, I know that Fiji is an expensive water and I can find another water do the same thing. And I said, well, good luck, because I can't find one with silica, but I know that Michael Kors is a good bag, but I know I can find a plastic bag that can carry my stuff just as well.
All right.
Now, I tell you, if you can get Michael Kors and your good water in, do so. But if you have to choose your body's health over Michael Kors doesn't know you. He doesn't even care about you getting sick. Okay. He's not going to help with the medical bill. So let's choose our bodies first. Okay. That's like really simple to me.
Yes, that was a word. No, we'll be the first people to say that's too expensive when we talk about, eating and drinking, but we'll be the new Jordans just came out.
And will they bury you in those new Jordans? No.
You touching on some things. Let me get back to hair. You're touching on something. That was like a wealth of knowledge right there. That was amazing. Thank you so much for saying that. And I just have,
sure.
I promised my subbies that I would ask. So I did have a few questions. The first question, the young lady said,
yo, wasn't that good? Oh my gosh, she said so many really good things that you don't even think about. It sparks a conversation. I can't wait to see your comments. Okay, part 2 is all the questions that you asked me. I think I asked her, hair care after 40, is biotin really good for you? Some of you asked, why does one side of my hair grow longer than the other side? She answered that. She answered, why doesn't my hair grow past my shoulders? She talked about alopecia, like the circular one where your hair doesn't really come back from, and how she's helped women from that scarring alopecia. She talked about that, and I was like, ooh, thank you, Jesus, that does not run in my family. But if you experience any of that, it was just really good. So I'll see you over there at part 2, baby.